Hi, my name is Dinora, and in today's Innovation Explained episode, I will be talking about crowdsourcing. Many studies, academia, and research, as well as numerous examples from companies all around the world, are talking about how great ideas from external parties have brought amazing results. A study actually found that 85% of top global companies have used crowdsourcing in the past decade or so. It is quite popular, but is crowdsourcing really effective in sparking innovation? Despite its growing popularity, there's also quite some evidence that challenges its effectiveness. It can be tempting to jump on the bandwagon of the latest innovation methods and trends, but it's not necessarily wise to do so without careful consideration. And that's why in this video, I will present you with some crucial facts about crowdsourcing. And hopefully, this video will help you determine whether crowdsourcing is something that could bring any benefit for your organization. But first things first, let's get a better understanding of what crowdsourcing is, or more importantly, perhaps, what crowdsourcing is not. What is crowdsourcing? As the name suggests, it is all about leveraging the power of the crowds. This does closely resemble open innovation. Open innovation includes many other activities that involve people outside the initial working group: open data, scouting, trend research, idea management, and so on. Indeed, two terms are oftentimes used interchangeably, and the concepts are very similar. But while crowdsourcing focuses on tapping into the collective wisdom of the crowds to obtain ideas and solutions, open innovation is a more comprehensive approach that involves integrating external knowledge and resources to foster innovation within an organization. By definition, crowdsourcing is the practice of obtaining ideas, solutions, or services from a large, sometimes undefined group of people through an open call. It is a process that leverages the collective intelligence and creativity of a crowd to solve problems, generate new ideas, or carry out tasks. While crowdsourcing can be an effective way to generate ideas and to solve problems or engage with a community, unless it is properly planned, executed, and managed, it might come up short. So next, let's take a closer look at some possible pitfalls. Risk management is one of the most mentioned challenges when it comes to crowdsourcing. Now, it is comprised of various different elements like brand reputation, quality, or project management, but the most pressing and crucial one comes from intellectual property and data privacy. Organizations are simply apprehensive about exposing themselves to large public and wary about potential conflicts that could arise from ownership and copyright, as well as exposure to competitors. There are four main things to keep in mind when it comes to the legal risks associated with crowdsourcing. Existing patents and patents protection for technical solutions. Trademarks are applicable when sourcing new product names, logos, or brands, design of the visual appearance of new products, and copyrights for any original texts. That's why it is best to have clearly predefined contractual terms, NDAs, and confidentiality agreements that deal with intellectual property ownership and data protection. Crowd management is the second pitfall on our list. The success of your crowdsourcing initiative hinges on the participation of individuals who provide ideas. However, many crowdsourcing projects fall short due to low engagement levels, inadequate idea generation, or low quality. And these issues may arise because contributors do not recognize the significance of their contributions. They might lack motivation, misunderstand project requirements, or are simply unaware of the initiative. Let's move to idea evaluation. Evaluating ideas is one of the most complex and challenging aspects of idea management, particularly when it comes to crowdsourcing initiatives where you have a significant number of ideas to sift through and to assess. First, it can be really time-consuming and overwhelming to select the ideas to develop. Second, ideas and perspectives might differ, so there will be inconsistency and biases in the evaluation process. Third, there is a tendency to pick the familiar over the distant ones. And last, there is also the issue of the quality and level of detail of ideas varying widely, making it difficult to determine which ideas are truly innovative and valuable. And with all these challenges, you could simply overlook potentially fantastic ideas. What's more, in a crowdsourcing environment, there is very often limited interaction between the idea generators and the evaluators, which can make it quite challenging to provide feedback and refine the ideas further. And finally, the last pitfall to be mentioned is process integration. Poorly designed or executed processes can lead to low-quality submissions or misunderstandings about the goals of the initiative. Organizations quite often fail to create a process around crowd management. First thing is to ask yourself if crowdsourcing will serve a bigger purpose. If so, how will it be part of your internal processes and what resources it will require? Crowdsourcing should not impede internal practices. It should align with the overall strategy and provide value for the organization. And although I have just discussed a number of potential pitfalls of crowdsourcing, it is really important to recognize that these issues are often complex. As such, there is rarely a single one reason for failure. To provide a more comprehensive understanding of crowdsourcing, next we will take a look at some examples of both failed and successful initiatives. Let's start with Pepsi. In 2010, Pepsi launched Pepsi Refresh, a crowdsourcing initiative that invited people to submit their ideas for projects that could benefit their own communities, with the winning ideas receiving funding from Pepsi. While the initiative generated a significant amount of attention, it was ultimately considered a failure. The main goal of increasing sales was completely missed. One reason was the lack of alignment between the initiative and Pepsi's core brand message. While Pepsi had traditionally focused on promoting its products, the Refresh project shifted the company's focus to community engagement and social responsibility. Of course, listening to this now, it does not sound like a bad thing. However, it is quite bad when such initiatives simply miss the core business goals. Another issue with the Refresh project was the complexity of submission and voting processes. There were also concerns about transparency and fairness in the voting process. Critics have suggested that the system was easily manipulated, allowing certain ideas to receive more votes than they really deserved, while others were unfairly overlooked. So, what can we take away from this example? Pepsi's case highlights the importance of ensuring alignment with business strategy and core business values, as well as a big role played by transparency in a crowdsourcing initiative. The second example worth mentioning is Nokia. Nokia's Ideas project was a crowdsourcing initiative launched in 2008 to gather ideas from the public for the company's product development. While the initiative generated great interest and engagement from users, it ultimately failed to produce significant results and was eventually discontinued. One reason for the failure of the Ideas project was a lack of follow-through and implementation of the ideas generated. While thousands of ideas were submitted and discussed on the platform, few were actually developed or brought to the market by Nokia. This led to disappointment and disengagement among users who felt that their contributions were not valued or taken seriously. Another issue was the lack of clear communication and marketing of the Ideas project. Many customers and potential contributors were not aware of the initiative or did not understand its purpose, which limited the overall reach and impact of the platform. Similar lessons can be taken from this case, but on top of alignment, Nokia failed to plan a follow-up process, completely wasting and not implementing ideas. And we can see that Nokia missed the communication mark. And finally, neglected the importance of good marketing strategy, failing to both reach all possible contributors and to convey the value of the project. But despite the challenges associated with crowdsourcing, there is still potential for success. Let's take Lego as an example. Lego's crowdsourcing platform, Lego Ideas, has been running successfully since 2008. The platform allows Lego fans to submit their own designs for new Lego sets, and then the community can vote on their favorite designs. The Lego Ideas platform has been hugely successful, with several of the winning ideas becoming popular and highly sought after sets. For Lego, Crowdsourcing is a cost-effective approach to supplement its in-house capabilities and expand their line of products. Even more, because of the voting system, they can assess whether a product idea has potential and demand among its customers. For participants, LEGO Ideas provides a valuable platform to share and contribute to the company's mission of inspiring future builders. Users can gain recognition from their peers for their ideas and benefit financially if their product is successfully released to the market. It is a win-win situation for everyone involved. Another successful case of crowdsourcing is the Make It Drivable. This campaign by Ford was launched in 2018 to gather ideas and solutions for making vehicles more accessible for people with disabilities. The campaign invited individuals and organizations to submit their ideas for features or modifications that would make driving and traveling in a car easier for them. The campaign engaged a diverse range of people and organizations, including disability advocates, engineers, and designers in the co-creation process, who generated a broad range of innovative ideas and solutions. The Make It Drivable campaign showcased Ford's innovation and leadership in the automotive industry, demonstrating the potential for crowdsourcing to drive meaningful change and create value for both the company and its stakeholders. Crowdsourcing can be applied successfully as long as it is in line with the company's core values and goals, and it is built on a framework that enables systematic use of the ideas from outside the organization. But as previous examples have shown, crowdsourcing can also go wrong, even for the most successful organizations. Hopefully, these examples can help you make more informed decisions or simply guide your way in the way you approach crowdsourcing or open collaboration in general. Now, let's talk about how do you get started. The first step is to set clear goals for your crowdsourcing campaign. What do you want to achieve? Is it brand awareness, ideas for improving products, or simply customer satisfaction? The target audience is essential for the success of your crowdsourcing. Without the right participants, you won't have enough relevant ideas. But once you have decided on the goals, you have determined the target audience, you should next look for a platform that can cater to all of your needs. The platform should act as a transparent communication and exchange forum for participants. It should be easily accessible and simple to use, but also flexible enough to allow different use cases. Consider starting with a pilot initiative to test the approach before scaling up. No matter how well you prepare for something new, you will most likely stumble a couple of times, and that's completely fine. No amount of research and shortlisting will give you the full scope of how it works in practice for your organization. That's why it's important to pilot on a smaller scale, and once you're happy with the pilot results, you are ready to scale up. Let's talk about piloting. For the following example, I will be using Viima because of all the fantastic crowdsourcing tools out there, this is the one I'm most familiar with. Doing pilots allows you to test the platform, check for compatibility with the platform, and test your plan and ways of working. It helps you to set the right criteria and check whether your goals are aligned with the desired outcome. With Viima, you can start your crowdsourcing initiative by creating a new board that will help you garner ideas from the crowds, or you can use our existing crowdsourcing board template to make the process a little easier. The example presented on the board template is for the branding of a new line of outdoor adventure gear targeted toward nature enthusiasts. The welcome screen invites people to submit both suggestions and designs. It clearly describes the style and spirit of the brand, allowing contributors to know what is expected of them. The welcome screen is easy to edit once you start working on your board. If you want the best results from your crowdsourcing campaign, make sure to clearly communicate the rules, guidelines, and submission deadline, and to promote your initiative through different channels. Here, people can submit different ideas for your preset categories by clicking the Add New button. These purple bubbles you see on screen now represent new suggestions from customers. The expanded view allows you to see full suggestion details, check how many likes or additional comments the ideas garnered, and see whether there are some supporting files attached to it. How you will want to progress with these suggestions is all up to you. You can progress ideas that you deem most fitting, or perhaps those that gathered the most likes. Either way, you can use the list view here to have a quick overview of the ideas and those mentioned metrics. And once you know which ones you want to progress further, you can work on them in Viima's Kanban view. So to wrap this demo up, let's recap. A board is the environment where you can collect ideas and suggestions, and you can have multiple ones to use simultaneously for various projects for both external and internal collaboration. It's completely free to get started, so just give it a try and see how easy it is to use. If you want to learn more, you can always reach out to us with more questions. With that said, I really hope this video will help you make the decision in the future whether crowdsourcing is something your organization can benefit from. Don't forget to check the rest of the Innovation Explained series and check the additional resources in the description box below. I'll see you in the next one.